Let's go straight to our case today. A 35-year-old woman is brought to the emergency department by an ambulance after collapsing at home. She had been seen by her regular doctor earlier in the day and was prescribed amoxicillin for sinusitis. Her blood pressure was 70 by 30, her heart rate was 140, and the respiratory rate was 40 breaths per minute. Her oxygen saturation was 76%. On physical examination, the patient is obtunded with perioral cyanosis, tongue swelling, stridor, wheezing, and labored breathing. Skin is cool and clammy with large urticarial lesions. So, what is the diagnosis? This patient is demonstrating signs and symptoms of anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is a rapidly progressive severe allergic reaction which includes compromising a patient's airway, breathing, and circulation. So, our patient today is hypotensive and tachycardic, and this indicates the problem in the circulation. And she also has an increased respiratory rate along with stridor and wheezing, which indicates airway and breathing difficulties. Apart from that, the patients who are having anaphylaxis can exhibit flushing, hives, and swelling of the mucous membranes. So the next question is, what type of hypersensitivity reaction is this? Answer A is type 1, answer B type 2, answer C type 3, and answer D is type 4. Anaphylaxis is a type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, and that is mediated by IgE. Upon initial exposure, the immune system produces specific IgE antibodies against the allergen, which will go and bind to the mast cells and basophils, sensitizing them. Upon re-exposure, this allergen binds to these IgE antibodies, and it will trigger the mast cells and basophils to release the preformed mediators like histamine and synthesize new ones like leukotrienes and prostaglandins. This will result in vasodilation, increased vascular permeability, and bronchoconstriction. And finally, it will result in tissue edema, hypotension, respiratory distress, gastrointestinal symptoms, and cardiovascular collapse. There are many substances that can cause anaphylactic reactions, but the most common offenders are the drugs, insect stings, and food substances like peanuts and fish. In this patient, it's probably due to the amoxicillin that she was prescribed. So now let's move on to the next question. A 40-year-old female is having a sudden and severe anaphylactic reaction following ingesting peanut containing ice cream. And her blood pressure is 80 by 52, heart rate 120, oxygen saturation is 87%. Audible wheezing is noted along with the facial redness and swelling. What is the initial treatment for this patient's condition? Answer A is intravenous diphenhydramine. Answer B, intravenous normal saline bolus. Answer C, intramuscular epinephrine. And answer D is nebulized albuterol. The answer is answer C. This patient's cardiovascular and respiratory system is compromised, therefore, epinephrine will provide fast relief from anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is a medical emergency and it needs to be treated right away. Early recognition of symptoms, support of the airway, and administration of certain medications are crucial when it comes to the management of anaphylaxis. Once you diagnose anaphylaxis, administer epinephrine immediately and the first dose is administered intramuscularly. Apart from that, this patient requires rapid resuscitation and stabilization. So always remember the ABCs, that's the airway, breathing, and circulation. And this should be managed appropriately by procedures or pharmacological interventions. In addition to the airway management and early administration of epinephrine, the other pharmacological therapies are tailored to the systemic manifestations of anaphylactic response, and these include volume resuscitation with crystalloids, nebulizing with beta agonists, antihistamines, and removal of any remaining antigens. So let me give you a summarized treatment plan for anaphylaxis. First one is supplemental oxygen, establish intravenous access and start normal saline. Epinephrine 1 in 1000 given intramuscularly every 15 minutes until improvement. Diphenhydramine intramuscularly or intravenously given every 4 to 6 hours. Corticosteroids intravenously given every 6 hours. Endotracheal intubation is done if there's a severe airway obstruction secondary to laryngeal edema, which doesn't rapidly improve with epinephrine. Finally, albuterol inhalers are used in patients who are wheezing. So if you have any questions, you can drop them as comments below. I'd love to hear your suggestions on how I can improve my content. I'll see you guys all next week with another interesting video just like this. Until then, take care and goodbye.